Hey everybody, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here with another layout for the Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the 2018 March Hip Kits for this. And I really wanted to use this really pretty lemon pattern paper from the Maggie Holmes Flourish collection. And I'm going to pair it with this pink paper because there's little bits of pink flowers in the lemon paper. And when I saw it, I knew exactly what picture that I wanted to use, and I already knew what my title was going to be. Now, this is a very serious photo of my oldest daughter, and she was just not in a good mood this day, and all I was wanting her to do was to smile so I could take her picture. And she was just not in a good mood, and she's nonverbal, so she couldn't tell me why she was having a bad day. And I just got this picture of her, and I thought, not all moments are happy and funny and the perfect smile and the perfect laugh. Some moments are serious and sad, and I got this picture of her and I thought, I'm going to use that for this layout and make this more of a serious page, because a lot of moments in our life are serious, especially with autism and being that our children are nonverbal. Not every moment is funny, and not every picture is laughing, and so this is more of a serious layout, and I really love how it comes out. Now I'm going to use this white cardstock as my background, and I'm going to cover the bottom half of it with clear gesso, and then I'm going to pull out some of the Vicki Boutin watercolors, and those come in the color kit this month. And this sort of turns, I'm going to have to fix this. You'll see what I'm talking about. I mix the pink paint with some white gesso, and it just turns out way too pink. So I knew that right away, so I squirted in a little bit of white acrylic paint. I was just kind of desperately mixing white things into this mixture, and it's just totally the wrong color pink. You saw that I tore the pattern papers, and I'm going to have some pink. I wanted some light, soft pink kind of coming out from underneath the papers. And here I am trying to add in more things. This is some of the Vicki Boutin glitter glaze, the iridescent color that we got this month, and you can see right away it's just too bright. It's almost like cotton candy pink, too bright, and this is not meant to be a very bright layout. So here I go, just adding things in. This is some of the Creamies Berry Hot that we got in a color kit a few months ago. I'm gonna fix this. I'm not gonna throw this away. I was bound and determined to get the right shade of pink. And I should know by now, as much as I do this, what colors are going to work and what colors aren't. And I just don't know. I just started slapping colors down and nothing matched. And so I'm going to go over it with some gesso. I'm going to add in some more colors. This is a golden shimmers color. I thought, well, maybe if I add some gold. No, all this did was make it more of an orangey color. I added some darker, I think that's shimmers ruby. Yeah. It works out in the end because I just keep layering the color over and over. And here's where I get it right. I add a lot of gesso over it, and what it's going to do is totally soften it up, and it's going to make it the perfect light pink shade. And sometimes, you just have to get the wrong colors to get the right color, if that makes any sense at all. Some days it just happens the first time, and some days you just have to keep covering it up and adding on top of it. But there we go. I love how that looks, and it's going to match perfectly now. So I wanted to add in bits of yellow since I've got all those lemons going on, and so I mixed in 2 of the yellow colored watercolors with a little bit of the white, and it matched perfectly with those lemons. So I'm just going to use this for splatters. I'm going to use my fingers to kind of squeeze the bristles to add the bigger splatters, and that's going to work perfectly. I love how that looks. The lemons are really bright, but like I said, I didn't want the pink to overshadow anything. I didn't want this to be it's not a summer fun page. This is more of a serious page. And so the quotes are going to match the lemons. So it's all going to tie together. And I put her picture in the upper half of the page since she's looking down. She refused to look at me this day, or she refused to look at the camera, and she just looks so sad, and she can't ever tell me why, what's bothering her or what's wrong, and she just looks so sad, and I don't even know why. It's just a random day, and who knows. Maybe it's because she was just in a bad mood. Maybe she was mad at something. She couldn't tell me, so I don't know. But I'm putting the picture up at the top because she's looking down. And it looks kind of like she's going to be looking down at the rest of the layout. Now I'm going to sort of blur out a little bit of the area behind her. And that's what I was just doing with the white gesso in my hand there. I just kind of blurred out or faded out some of the background so it's not so busy, and so it makes the picture pop off the page a little bit more. I did add some gold color shine because it's so pretty, and I thought it would really accent this layout. And I really wanted to use this die cut. This is from the Flourish Maggie Holmes die cut pack, and I pulled out a lot of things and put them over there to the right, but I'm going to cut out this really pretty rose gold frame part and then also use the outer part of it because I didn't want to cover up the frame, but I didn't want to put the picture under the frame because I didn't want to cut off any more of the picture, because you know, when you put a frame on top of the picture, it kind of makes it a little bit smaller, or it would have in this case, and so I wanted to use it as a layer. So I'm going to just cut it all up and make it look kind of off center, but I'm going to use some of the rose gold thickers as well, and so I thought this would be a nice tie-in on the title. I'm also going to use one of these butterflies. I believe these are Pebbles or Jen Hadfield, can't remember, but I'm going to take it apart and take out the foam because I didn't really want it to be super dimensional. It's dimensional as it is, but there's 2 pieces of foam in there, and so I took those out. And I don't know if you've used those yet, but there's a protective film on the underside of each of the butterflies. It peels off, kind of like those acetate pieces that we've gotten before. So I like how this is looking. I'm going to add some foam just to raise the picture up a little bit. And then I'm going to start to work on the embellishments. Yeah, I was happy with how the background finally turned out. I finally got the pink right. I kind of wanted it to blend in with the pink paper, but just be a little bit lighter. And you know, when I pulled out this kit the first day that I got it, I saw that deer, and I thought, I am never going to use this deer. And guess what? I'm using it today. And it has nothing to do with lemons, but I love how it looks peeking around the picture. It looks like the deer is looking at the picture. And so that's how it's going to go. That little deer is going to be tucked underneath there. I'm going to pretend like it's Bambi because, you know, just because. That's the only little deer I know. And I just think it looks cute. It's like the deer's looking out for her. So I've got a couple of bits of thread. I'm going to use some of the pink thread just to add a little bit of a different shade of pink down there at the bottom. And I'm going to kind of ruffle up the edges here. This is my little edge de-stressor. I don't even know how long I've had that thing or what brand it is, but it's got a little blade in the middle and you just run it through the edge of your paper. You could also do that with the edge of your scissors. I've done that several times as well. So I want that butterfly kind of flying off the side there. And if you look at the picture, like a lot of the pictures I use, there's some negative space on both sides of her. And so I can overlap things on top of the picture without it, you know, covering up her face or taking away from the picture. So here's where I start to work on the title. I wanted to mix and match a lot of the fonts. I'm going to use the white scripty thickers. I'm going to use some of the Maggie Holmes, the sticker pack. There's a pack of a couple sheets of stickers. And my title is going to be When Life Gives You Lemons. And you know the rest of that phrase. And yeah, it took me a while to get it situated, but there we go. And I'm going to add some glue behind all of those letters because when you use gesso, especially the clear gesso, it's kind of gritty and nothing wants to stick. So I love how that title turned out. I added a little die cut lemon underneath the word you there just to kind of tie in the yellow down there. And the rest of this is going to be stickers and just embellishing. I'm going to use a couple of flowers, that little heart. There were just a lot of things that match these colors, and I thought it looked really pretty. And again, it's going to look like the deer is sort of peeking out from behind some flowers, the way I'm going to organize this. That's a little chipboard floral piece from the Simple Stories. And so is that heart. It just all kind of came together. Some days when I try embellishments, I can try 50 embellishments and nothing works. And then on this layout, like every time I tried something the first time, I liked the way it looked right away. And I love when that happens. It just sort of flowed. And just came together very, very nicely. I'm going to use one of these paper clips, but I'm just going to glue it down. I'm not going to actually stick it through anything because I just like the way it looks. But I couldn't figure out a way to actually stab anything with it, and I couldn't bring myself to stick a hole in anything because I knew I probably wouldn't like it and I would have to remove it and then I would have a hole. So I just decided to glue it down. I'm going to create a little cluster down at the bottom. I'm going to use a butterfly, a lemon, one of the, I believe, Pink Fresh Studio little fabric die cuts. I think that one says Just Being Me. And yeah, I picked this title. I knew right away when I decided to make this layout with the lemons that that was going to be my title. And you know, when you have 2 children and they both are autistic and nonverbal, those are your lemons. And what are you going to do? Those are your children. You're going to make the best of it and you're going to make lemonade. And so that's kind of my thought process behind this. You're going to do the best you can with what you've been given. And that's what we're doing. We've been doing it for 11 years now, and that's all we know. And so, you know, I feel like sometimes in a layout like this, you have to just be honest. And, you know, like I said before, not all pictures are of perfect moments. You know, you have to embrace moments that aren't super happy as well, because that's real life. Here is where I did some stitching, just some white thread. I did a little bit through the word lemons, a little bit above and below the photo, just to add a little bit of texture, and then a little line through down there at the bottom. And here's where I glue down that safety pin. They're very pretty. I thought about using one at the top too, but I didn't. I just used the one. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite layouts in a while, just because of the meaning behind it. And I love the colors, and I love that I use that busy pattern paper. I just love so many things about it. And I think I'm getting close to being done. I'm going to add a little bit of journaling down here at the bottom, just talking about this, the photo and the moment and, you know, our life and how it relates to our world. And then I do add the date off camera, and I do add a little bit of yellow thread over behind the butterfly on the left, just because I felt like there was a lot of pink over there, and I wanted a pop of yellow, and so there you can see that. But there's the final layout. I really love how this turned out. It's near and dear to my heart, of course. I mean, every layout I make is near and dear to my heart, because it's usually my family or my friends or my children. But this one's really special because, you know, it's, like I said, it's real life, and it's pretty much our life 24/7. But anyway, here you can see all the details. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really had a good time putting it together. And let me know if you have any questions about any of the kits or the techniques or anything at all. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great week. Thanks for watching.